So the Scav case in Escape from Tarkov is another one of those highly debated topics in the game that nobody can ever seem to agree on. Some people will tell you that it's totally worth investing in, and others will tell you it's a complete waste of money. Oftentimes I'll see people talking about how they pulled insane loot out of the Scav case, such as colored keycards, LEDXs, and high value keys, but how realistic is it to be getting items like that? So today I'll be running the Intel Scav case 10 times so you guys don't have to. Alright, so before we get into the runs and break down all of the numbers and show you guys the spreadsheet, I want to explain the Scav case very quickly to anyone who might be a new player. So the Scav case is a hideout component where Scavs will bring you loot as long as you pay the fee. And to build the Scav case, you must have Intel Center level 2 and all of the required items, which are the following: 1 golden rooster, a Scav junk box, 3 bottles of moonshine, 4 roller watches, 8 gold chains, 6 gold skull rings, and 3 bronze lions. At the time of this recording, constructing the Scav case will cost you roughly 3.1 million rubles. So the question is the Scav case worth building? And if you do build it, which runs should you be doing? This will be a multi-part series where I do 10 runs on each option of the Scav case to show you guys which one might be the best for you. So let's jump straight into it. Did you guys know that 98% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed? That's insane. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and you might as well turn on notifications while you're at it. Just make sure you don't miss out on any future videos. That's all I'm asking. Okay, so the finale of the Scav case series is finally here, and we're going to be finishing it off with a bang with the Intel case. Just to preface this was definitely the best one out of all the options that we've done. And I'm not going to lie, we got a couple bangers in here. So before we get into the runs, I just want to say I hope you guys enjoyed this series, and I hope you learned a little something from it, and I hope it gave you an idea of which Scav case is probably the best for you. I just want to say that I do have another idea that is very similar to this, another series that I'm planning on doing. So if you like the series on the Scav case, be sure to stay tuned for what I have planned next. As always, I'll preface this by saying that these runs are completely just for fun. We're not doing any super in-depth math, science, all that crap, statistics. This is just for fun. I'm only doing 10 runs. If you want to see somebody do more than 10 runs, I am clearly not your guy. Jumping in to run number 1, starting off not so hot. We sold everything for 192k, had a flea market fee of around 8,000, and we had a total loss of 115,000 rubles. Nothing crazy on this one. We got a Meldon in, a few guns. Nothing super spectacular, but if you're looking for stems to finish samples, this might be the one for you. Moving on to run number 2, we sold everything for 200k. We had a flea market fee of 3,300, and we had a loss of 101,919 rubles. Again, taking another L. That's unfortunate. However, we did get an RSAS. So if you're stuck on that gunsmith task where you need an RSAS, you might want to look into doing the Intel. Other than that, we didn't get anything crazy. Maybe if it was earlier in the wipe, we would have, been able to sell some of these things for a little bit more. And keep in mind, when I'm doing the profit and loss on these, I'm basing it off of spending 300k on an Intel case, because that's about the average that I paid for all of them. Moving on to run number 3, we had our first positive here. We sold everything for 419k, had a flea market fee of around 21,000, and we had a total profit of 98k. So not bad. We're on the come up, but we're still down. Run number 4, we took a fat L on this one. We sold everything for 127k, had a flea market fee of almost 4k, and we lost 176,546 rubles. Unfortunately, this was just kind of a doo-doo run. Nothing crazy, nothing good. It's probably going to be what most of your runs are on Intel and Moonshine and all the expensive ones. Just keep in mind, you are not going to profit every single time. But with that being said, every now and again, you will hit big, and that brings us into run number 5. The run number 5 was absolutely massive. We sold everything for almost 2 million. We had a flea market fee of 100,000 with a total profit of 1.5, almost 1.6 million. When I opened up this case and saw that Dorms marked key, at first I was kind of mad because I had just bought it maybe a few days ago to finish up, I think, one of the wet job tasks or whatever, maybe spa tour or something like that. All the money that I spent on it, I made it back when this dorms key dropped. Already in 5 runs, we're up big time. Now, I just want to clarify that getting something like this is extremely lucky, and it is not something that happens very often. Keep in mind that it is completely random, and pulling something like this is just 100% luck. All right, moving on to run number 6. We sold everything for 230k. We had a flea market fee of around 5k for a loss of 74,591 rubles. Now, at this point, after we pulled the dorms mark key, I kind of figured if I took a loss on every single one for the remainder of the 10, it wasn't really going to matter because I had such a huge profit on that. But run number 6, not too bad. We got an 11 SR. The key at the bottom was actually a Terra Group Security Armory key. I'm just going to assume that's like a streets key. I'm not really sure. Again, nothing crazy. RPK is pretty good. 11 SR pretty good. Not too bad. Moving on to run number 7, this was honestly just kind of like a what the actual kind of moment. When I opened this one up, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little pissed off because 51,000 rubles worth of stuff on an Intel case that I just spent 300,000 on is kind of wild. I don't mind taking like a 50 to 100k loss, but taking a 251k loss is insane. But anyways, we sold everything for 51k, had a flea market fee of 3,800 with a fat loss of 251,953. This one sucked. This one sucked really bad, and it kind of hurt, not gonna lie. Moving on to run number 8, we sold everything for 297,000 rubles. We had a flea market fee of 7,800 for a total loss of 10,098 rubles. This one, not bad. We almost profited. We were right there. Got the SR25, the RSH, the weapon testing key. You know, not bad, but not quite enough to make any money. Moving on to run number 9, we sold everything for 237,000 rubles. We had a flea market fee of 11,800, and we had a total loss of 73,913 rubles. This one wasn't bad. We got a lot of stuff. The key at the bottom that I haven't seen before is actually the USEC stash key. I want to say I sold it for like 50k, not too sure, but again, if you guys have noticed, we're pulling a lot of stems out of this, so the chances of you getting those stems that you need finished sample should be pretty high. And finally, for the very last run, we sold everything for 148,216 rubles. We had a flea market fee of around 5,700. We had a total loss of 157,580 rubles. This one was kind of trash, not gonna lie. Had a decent key in there with the East Wing 328. That one's not too bad, but overall kind of trash. So if you look at all of this, you will notice that we only profited on 2 of these runs, one of which was actually a huge profit. But I'm sure you can imagine if we didn't pull that dorms mark key and it was just an average one like this, we probably would have lost anywhere from 50 to 100k. And based off of that, you will see that without pulling the dorms marked key, we would have lost a ton of money. I mean, some of these are just insane. You know, I'm really glad that I pulled that dorms key because it kind of made up for all of the other losses. So what you guys all came here for, the total numbers. So in total, we sold everything for almost 3.9 million rubles. We had a total flea market fee of 174,385. If we go down here, let's say we found all the intels in raid. If we would have just sold them at 300,000, we would have been sitting at about 3 mil. If we go on down to the grand total after everything, we profited 715,916 rubles. So again, if we didn't pull that dorms mark key, this would have been completely different. We probably would have been negative 715,000 rubles, but pulling that was absolutely huge. It helped out a lot. So to wrap this up, should you do the Intel case? This one, in my opinion, is probably the biggest gamble out of all of them, even more than the moonshine. No matter what, at this point in the wipe, you're probably going to be spending around 260 to 300k for an Intel, and it is just going to be a complete gamble. You might get something really good, but most of the time you're probably going to get just straight trash. I would say use the Intel case if you're just super rich and you want want to just gamble like crazy, I think I got some more wild stuff than I did in the Moonshine. So if you're looking for just some crazy stuff, I would suggest the Intel. If you're looking for stems for samples, I would also suggest Intel, but it is very expensive to run just for the chance to get a stem that you need, and I don't think I got any stems that I needed. So anyways, that is going to do it for the Intel Scav cases, and that is going to be the end of the Scav case series. I had a ton of fun making this series. I got a lot of good feedback, a lot of good comments from you guys, and also a lot of just awful comments from you guys. Some of you were mad about this, some of you had constructive criticism, some of you were just being straight up trolls. Again, these are not meant to be super in-depth statistic, math, all that good stuff. These are literally just for fun and to give new players an idea of what they can expect out of the Scav case. So like I mentioned earlier, if you guys enjoyed this series, keep an eye out on the channel because I'm going to be uploading something very similar. It's going to be another series, and it's probably going to be a longer series than the Scav case. However, each episode is going to take me quite some time to put together because it involves going in raid, going to high tier locations, and dying a lot. I've spent the last 2 days trying to do one episode, and I'm probably only about halfway done with it. So if that sounds like something interesting to you guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a comment down below. And to kind of cap this off, let me know what the craziest thing is that you pulled out of the Intel case. Have any of you guys gotten any colored key cards, LEDXs, graphics cards, stuff like that? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear about it. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a little something, and I'll see you in the next one.